here recording for Tuesday's 10-game main slate. James, you and I sitting here on Monday watching quite a slate of baseball here. Some big innings allowed by some guys on tonight's slate. JP Sears, Dylan Cease, Anthony Desclafani, to name a few. We saw the Dodgers bullpen. Gonsolin pitch a gem. Bullpen comes in, gives up like 9 runs to the Brewers here. The Royals have hung 12 on the board. It's been a pretty interesting slate on Monday. I don't know about you. I'm ready to turn the page to Tuesday here, where we got 10 games to talk about.
What day was it? I don't even remember, John. I've been on Tuesday this whole time.
We're on to Tuesday, to quote Bill Belichick.
Yeah, we're on to Tuesday natty. To really try to drive home the Bill Belichick. Didn't work. I tried it, on to Tuesday as Hanser Alberto drives in some runs for the Chicago White Sox. And it's a good one, John. So Monday we thought we had elite pitching. Nobody pitched well, other than Freddie Peralta. Every pitcher, with Zach Gallen still going, Logan Gilbert looking good.
Logan Gilbert's got 3 perfect innings with 6 strikeouts.
We have quite the elite arms on Tuesday slate. Shohei Ohtani, Framber Valdez, Logan Webb, George Kirby, Charlie Morton, Jesus Luzardo, Lucas Giolito back. Like, we have a lot of big time names. We have some good value. We have 20 starters. So clearly we're going to like a few arms. We also have 20 teams in action, which means we have 10 Vegas totals as well, John.
James, I got to interrupt you just slightly here. We have once again encountered the immovable force versus the whatever object, that whole quote there.
Yep.
It is Patrick Corbin Day.
Okay.
But he's facing the Giants. So we have the Giants who can't hit lefties versus Patrick Corbin coming off of maybe his best start I've seen in 3 years.
Probably his best start in 3 years. Yep. And he's actually been fairly serviceable outside of one start this year.
So at $5,800, not to cut ahead here, we're going to have some decisions to be made here. I think
no.
Because I figure, you know what, Monday couldn't honestly have gone in any other direction than the opposite of what we expected. So why not just dive head first into Patrick Corbin? So, I mean, we didn't, I'm just saying. Right, back to Vegas totals. I was just scrolling through and I was like, oh, working my way down. Oh, Patrick Corbin Day. Oh, the Giants in San Francisco. Right.
Right. So, yeah, I actually think there's a guy cheaper than him that we might look at.
Are you talking about the name with a bunch of vowels in the middle of it?
Yeah, so it's so the pronunciation is Fought.
Sure. I'll believe
Brandon Fought.
Certainly doesn't look that way, but I'll trust you. P-F-A-A-D-T?
Don't fight me on this.
That is literally someone just smashing their hands on a keyboard, and that's how a last name came out.
Don't fight me on this. It's Fought.
Fought.
Okay?
I got it.
Don't.
God. With the jokes. We got like an hour to talk left, but that is pretty much a way to close the show.
Let's head over to Vegas, sure, where we have 10 games on tap. Once again, the Yankees opening up as big favorites. It paid out. It paid off on Monday. Clark Schmidt and the Yankees minus 225 on the money line on DraftKings Sportsbook against Oakland here. They lead the slate. Logan Webb minus 225 against the immovable object in Patrick Corbin. Both minus 225, both tops the slate. And then everything's, pretty middling. Charlie Morton minus 180 over Boston. Charlie Morton has been pretty good.
Why are all these teams favored over Boston?
It is true. Boston's offense has been fairly amazing outside of Taijuan Walker, right? Is that the only time that they were shut down in the last?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Sunday scaries. They were just day off. They had Raimel Tapia hitting third
That
because
was, I mean, that was the
Alex
sign.
Cora was just seeing what he could get away with at this point.
Yeah,
You know,
that was the sign that we should have not been on Boston when Raimel
right,
Tapia was sitting third.
right.
It is, worth maybe something that Atlanta's home here. So Atlanta just getting the home rub against Boston. They have Nick Pivetta on the mound, and my thoughts on Nick Pivetta.
Sure.
Minus 160 for Lucas Giolito against Jordan Lyles, who's giving up a boatload of home runs again. Shohei Ohtani minus 140. That's an interesting one over Framber Valdez
11,
in Houston.
6, and 10, 7. The top two pitches on the slate, price wise, going up against each other.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And then let's see if we have anything notable for over-unders. Oh, we do. We have a bunch. Yankees Oakland has opened up at 9. The return of Aaron Judge is imminent, John. He is expected to come off the IL for the Yankees, going against Drew Rucinski. 9 runs implied in
the
that game.
complete opposite matchup there, where Schmidt and Ruzinski are the two of the four lowest
Yeah.
price pitchers. So, yeah, that
Yeah.
checks. That checks out.
9.5 in Milwaukee Dodgers, Eric Lauer versus Noah Syndergaard. That actually opened at 9, has now been bet up to 9.5 in pretty much
Who
every
won
sport.
Milwaukee steals bases? That's what I need to figure out. Because that's
None of the
none of them, right? Adames,
Joey Weimer, if he gets on. 9.5 runs in the KC Bowl, which, John, we might have to start taking a closer look on KC being up to snub with other ballparks, because
how long you can go back to every podcast we've done for like 2 weeks. I've been saying the Kansas City's offense is not that it was not as bad as it was to start the year. And to your point, they've gotten actually deeper, like adding Prado, adding Garcia. Like they're now these guys are hot. And now Jackie Bradley Jr. for crying out loud tonight hit 9th and had like 3 doubles. Like, what are we doing? So, yeah, man. I know you talked Giolito, and he's definitely looked good. Kansas City feels like one of the hottest offenses in the league right now, at least to our perspective. So
right. Well, it's the game environment. It's Kansas City's summer opening up, right? Like that's where we are right now, where everything is just hot, and look, the other side of the mound we're going to take a look at too, Jordan Lyles, with all the power that he's allowing. So definitely interesting there. 9.5 runs implied pretty much across the board in that one. We have 9 runs implied in Miami, Arizona. Not sure about that one. I like the pitchers in both those spots. It's interesting to see both DraftKings and Caesars minus 120 on the over. So on over 9 runs in that game.
Another lefty going up against Arizona. I guess we'll see how they fare tonight against Braxton Miller, right? But that's certainly probably one of the reasons why that's probably a high run total. I mean, we like Luzardo as a talent, but that talent has not been showing, right?
No,
so
it has not.
Good strikeout numbers, but as we saw with Dylan Cease tonight, it doesn't really matter if you strike guys out if you also give up 1,000 hits. So.
Right, and then 9.5 in the Boston Atlanta game. That's been hot night in Atlanta. We don't know what we're gonna get out of either pitcher, really. So.
Right. Yep. All right. Let's dive in here. Again, a lot of pitchers to talk about, but like from a price standpoint, it's actually kind of interesting, right? We have 2 guys at the very top over 10K. We only have 4 pitchers over 9K. There's a lot of guys that are 7K or below on this slate that make up the pitching. So it's, double spend up maybe tonight, or if you do like a value play or two, throw them in a lineup and cross your fingers and hope they kind of pan out. But like we said at the beginning, like Valdez and Ohtani are facing each other. So you pick one, and then you pick, I don't know. I'm afraid to go back to go Logan Webb here because we just saw Washington open the first inning with 7 hits, 6 singles. So that's just what they do. Kirby, I guess, against Texas is interesting, but I don't know. There, for as many pitches that are on here, I really don't love a lot of what we're looking at, truthfully.
So I lean Ohtani, obviously. I mean, if you want an indication of what a guy brings to the table when he struggles, look no further than 5 innings, 4 earned runs,
13
13
strikeouts.
strikeouts for Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Just 5 other outs recorded in any other way
Mhm.
than the strikeout. So like just on that fact alone, I know he's kind of struggled his last 2 starts. Like he allowed 4 home runs in his last 2 starts, right? And he had really been invincible before that. He had allowed like 2 earned runs going into those starts. He still only has a 2.5 ERA. So and Valdez, like for as great as he is, because that's what he is, great. There's not like a ceiling, right? Like
He's a great FanDuel pitcher.
he is a great FanDuel pitcher that is going to get you a quality start, and he strikes out anywhere from like 5 to 8 batters
Yep.
typically, right?
You don't get hurt by the hits over
Don't
there. I
get
mean,
right.
so I mean, like 2 runs is 3 points each. Take away 6. He gives you, I mean, 7, 9, and 8 strikeouts the last 3 of his last 4. So I mean, if he hangs out there, like you said, gives you 6 strikeouts in the innings and a quality start. He's giving you 35 probably fantasy points over there, 40 fantasy points. So definitely a better FanDuel pitcher, unless you're pretty much guaranteeing him a win. But I mean, he's 2-4 on the year,
Right.
so you really need to see the elite numbers there from him. So I agree with you. I probably go Ohtani. I mean, I don't even think Logan Webb is that good of a pitcher, honestly.
He's been really good. He's been really good.
I know.
Look at
I
those
mean,
ground. Look at the freaking ground ball outs this guy is
that's not going
hitting.
to help him against the Nationals, though. They're not trying to hit line
I
drives. They're
know.
trying to hit ground balls. Like
I know what you're saying, and me and you both have been snake bit by Anthony DeSclafani, although has made a decent bounce back since the first inning.
yeah, because it's not sustainable to hit that many singles. Like
Right. In a row, literally just 7 in a row. Well, one
one
double mixed
double,
in.
7 straight hitters. The first out of the game was made on like a put out the first on a single. Like I don't even know what happened there. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Like we agree Washington's lineup leaves a ton to be desired. But what have we been talking about? They don't strike out.
Yeah.
They put the ball in play, and that is just terrifying
Right.
because things like this happen. So I agree with you. People are gonna play Logan Webb. Probably should play Logan Webb, but is there win equity here for him?
Mm,
It
I
seems
know.
weird to say when Patrick Corbin's the other way, but San Francisco's like the worst team in baseball against left-handed pitching. And we
Yeah.
tested this with Corbin the last time in his last start, and he shoved it down our throats. So, like,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't. $9,500.
It's
He's not going
probably
to get.
the it's
He's
probably
not
the
going to get
tier
the
after.
strikeouts, right? Like, what if he strikes out 4 in this game and goes 6 innings because they just burn his pitch count away? Like, I don't know.
I mean, he's going. I mean, look at the innings though. Like the last 4 starts, Logan Webb, 7 2/3, 6 2/3, 7 innings, 6 2/3.
I know.
Against Houston, who doesn't strike out, the Mets, who don't strike out, St. Louis.
But there's like not striking out, and then there's 15% strikeout rate in Washington.
That's also correct. 19%. Well,
Are
he
they
just
19?
yeah, Arizona. Who did he face? Houston. So Houston's actually striking out against righties pretty high clip. St. Louis. St. Louis, 25th in strikeout rate, 21%. And he struck out 7, 6 2/3. I don't know. I'm not. Look, I'm not saying you're wrong. We both have felt the wrath of what
They
the
just
wrath
don't make.
is.
They're just an offense that doesn't make any sense. Again, on the year against right-handed pitching, to your point, 19% strikeout rate, 28th in baseball. Nothing else looks good. They just
No.
287 WOBA, 099 ISO, 640. Like none of these numbers are any good. But it feels like whenever we go against them at all with anybody, they just hurt us. So maybe it's one of those things where it's like you just keep playing it and eventually you get the right end of it. I don't know.
I mean, I think more often than not, you probably benefit from playing against the Nationals.
Let's
But
see what
you're
the
right. Like,
last 14 is. Is that any better? 310 WOBA the last
So
14.
it's getting better.
Yeah, it's getting better. 261, 700 OPS, 369 slug. So they're improving slightly, but nothing out of this world. So
I think I mean you also I'd rather play him than Kirby.
sure, I would agree with you.
Webb is missing way more bats than Kirby.
Yeah,
I mean, even in a start that Kirby had a no-hitter in, through 6 innings, he gets 13 fantasy points because he's just like the strikeouts are just not there this year.
yeah.
I'd rather play him than Morton.
I mean, check
More
out 2 A's for crying out loud. So I mean,
two ace. Morton is like we know Morton has a high ceiling because of strikeouts, but 4 earned his last time out. The walks are still too high, and now he has to face like the hottest offense in baseball. No thanks. Luzardo, another like kind of like tough spot, right? Honestly,
what would you do with Heaney? You run
I think that's where I would go next.
27% strikeout rate the last 14 games, days against lefties for them. 204 average, 275 WOBA. We know they have some guys that can obviously hit for some power. Eugenio Suarez there, but
And that's what we worry about with Heaney.
right.
We worry about the home run ball. 7 home runs allowed this year already.
He's just been also not good.
Very inconsistent. Look, what can Andrew Heaney be? He can be.
We saw it. We saw it against that Kansas City Star, right? 10 strikeouts of his in 5 innings, right there. You know,
He can be an electric dude, and he can also because he just doesn't care. Like
right.
he gives up a lot of fly balls. He gives up a lot of home runs, and he's like Joey Gallo if Joey Gallo was a pitcher.
Sure.
Right? Like strikeout, walk, home run.
He's just challenging you in the zone.
Yeah.
If you hit him, you hit him. If you don't, he's striking you out.
So I would be okay getting to Heaney because you mentioned the last 14-day stats. Like Seattle in general, 26.7% K rate against lefties, 5th highest in the league. They have a 625 team OPS. That is 29th in the league. WOBA 29th in the league, 277. I'm okay getting to Heaney in tournaments for sure.
Yep, I'm with you there. Other mid-tier plays here. I mean, we have Flaherty, Tyon, Syndergaard, Pivetta. Anybody here for you?
I mean, we have talked about Eric Lauer, or we have talked about the Dodgers against lefties and their struggles.
Yeah, Snell just pitched well against them.
They're still 25th in the league against left-handed pitching in terms of WOBA. They have a 27% K rate, John, against lefties. That's the 4th highest mark in the league.
Yeah, I pointed this out when they faced Matt Strahm.
Yeah.
They just happened to hit Matt Strahm that day. So
I'm kind of on board. Look, Eric Lauer he blew up in the Detroit start. You and I were all over him.
Yes, a lot of people were on him on that start too. That was like one of the more popular plays of the day.
He has like a pretty good ceiling. He has a very good pitch count normally. I mean the Colorado, he has
He's just it's only been 2 home starts, but like last year he was dynamite at home.
Right.
2 home starts this year, he's been abysmal. So
you're not wrong. And like that is definitely like something of note. I just like the Dodgers have also just been so bad. And Lauer, we've seen at times this year, I mean, his 4 road starts, as you mentioned. I know this is at home, but like what has gotten into him? 190 ERA, 20 fantasy points per game. There's some upside here.
You mentioned 27% strikeout rate is the 4th highest in baseball, right? They have a 191 batting average against left-handed pitching. They have a 294 WOBA. They have a 178 ISO. That's pretty decent. That's a 4th highest in the league. They're tied for 5th highest ISO. So like a lot of power there. 368 slug, but like everything else on the year overall has been pretty bad. I mean, even like recent form, it doesn't get too much better. 130 ISO, 220 average the last 14 days here. So yeah, I will. The numbers are here, right? We can only follow the statistics that are in front of us. So Does Eric Lauer have anything maybe to suggest that like he could?
He needs to limit the home runs, dude. The home runs have been scary. 6 home runs through 6 starts, like, that's obviously not great when you're facing the Dodgers. But you
Yeah.
think about the Dodgers, right? Freeman, Muncy, Outman, Peralta,
All
Hayward.
lefties. Yeah.
Dude, they have WD Smith, they have Mookie Betts. But we've talked about Mookie Betts for a long time. Outside of last year, it's been largely him from the other split. Like, he's
Yeah.
just been better against righties, right? So I don't know.
He's
Just
only, he's only allowing 10% soft contact.
oh, that's
Uh,
scary.
That's not good.
That's very scary.
46% fly ball rate, 26% line drive rate. So, I mean, they're definitely hitting. They're definitely hitting him. 45% hard hit rate.
All right, maybe we
Uh,
temper. Maybe we temper this.
But I mean, if they're not hitting the ball, does it matter what your hard hit rate is?
No, no, no. That's true.
Um, yeah, 11% barrel rate. I don't know if it's high, it's as highest it's ever been. So just something to
I mean, where after? I mean, the rest of this tier is kind of trash.
well, yeah, that's why I was sitting there and I'm like, yeah, are we going
I
Patrick?
would, I would. Tyone limited last start. Pavetta, no.
Pavetta was better
I will not play him.
as in every other start. I mean, well, four of his 6 starts this year, 17 or more fantasy points.
I mean, is he going to do that against Atlanta?
I don't know. He just did it against Toronto.
I guess. Do it against Atlanta, and maybe I'll
You
be a
said lefty
believer.
power gets to him, so just like don't give up a home run to Matt Olson. That's not hard, right?
Well, Olsen and Eddie Rosario's cooking with something. Michael Harris is back. Like, they got a little something. Acuna might as well be a lefty in this spot. Like, he hits everybody. I think there's good value anyway. So
I mean, talk about him, I guess, right? Like I mentioned Corbin, obviously. Whether we agree or not, we're not going to argue on the spot, right? I mean, almost for the season, it's almost a 30% strikeout rate against lefties for the Giants.
yeah, they're the worst. They're just the
289
worst.
WOBA, only a 125 ISO, 231 batting average. It's all just very, very bad numbers against left-handed pitching.
Yep.
And like to our like kind of point, right? Recently, Corbin's been better-ish, 6 or more innings in 3 of the last 4. Hasn't allowed more than 3 runs in any of those outings. You got to think there's a higher strikeout ceiling here. The ground balls have been okay, double-digit ground ball outs in 3 of 5.
He's been better. He's been better.
$1,500. I mean,
He's been better. That doesn't mean I'm going to play him, but that he has been better.
I'm
He
probably
is, and you're probably going to play him. I would rather play Brandon Pfaadt. This is a very sought after prospect. Coming into the year, depending on where you looked, it was a large range of outcomes. Baseball America had him at 27. MLB had him at 59. Baseball Prospectus had him at 83. So wide net for Pfaadt, but the guy has been electric in pretty much every stop. John, last year, Brandon Pfaadt pitched 167 innings, which, by the way, is a lot for
it
the
is.
minor leagues.
It is.
He had 218 strikeouts in 167 innings. 30 strikeouts in 25 innings this year. Pitching in the PCL, by the way. 2.6 ERA last year in the PCL. So, look, he looked bad against Texas. We've talked about Texas a lot this year. They are a potent offense. And you know what? Miami has been a little better. Like, Jesus Sanchez has been better hitting in the middle of their lineup. Chisholm hits righties obviously better. Luis Ariz is a 900 hitter on the year.
Yeah.
So, like, they're not like, they have some guys, but like 24.4% K rate, 8th highest against righties. Their OPS as a team is 648. That's 27th. Like, even with these guys that are decent players, as a collective unit, they're not doing anything
Right.
worth $4,500, dude. We just did this dance. This is the 3rd time this year that this has happened. One, it happened with Jared Schuster was the first start with Atlanta. The second time it happened with Bryce Miller of Seattle, and this time it's happening with Fott. It's 1-1. One went terribly wrong. Schuster, what? It's just worth taking a shot on. He's 45. How many batters are more expensive than your SP2 if you use Brandon Fott?
A lot.
Like you can, and especially on a slate, like you might not need to, but on a 10-game slate where you have 20 offenses to choose from, you play Fott and Ohtani, you have $4,200 a player.
Yeah.
Like that's more than
Miami's 27th in WOBA.
Dude, they're terrible. Like
right-handed pitching, they rank. Let's see here. They are 13th in ISO. Oh, sorry, that's BABIP. Whoops. So still 13th in BABIP, I guess. Are they in ISO? Miami 26th in ISO.
They're just not a good. It's just not a good offense.
Yeah,
they have some guys coming around, but like we're talking about a consensus top 100 prospect again,
number 3 in their organization,
as high as 27 at Baseball America, right? Like that's pretty coveted.
Last 2 weeks, by the way, 14 days, it's even worse for Miami. Second worst in WOBA, second worst in slugging, 092 ISO, second worst only to Cleveland. 215 batting average, 25% strikeout rate, which is 7th highest. So, recent form against righties too, dreadful.
I am all aboard. I'm not fighting.
Are you fighting for Fott here? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not fighting this. Brandon Fott 4,500. It's just
we click. And you liked Ohtani here, huh?
I did. Well, we don't have to. That was just an example. If you wanted top end of the pricing and bottom end of the pricing, you literally have 4,200. That's the most we've had ever between our. So,
all right, let's go on over to the catcher position. Then obviously there's a lot of guys in good spots here. Will Smith gets Lauer at 51. Talk about his power there. Against left-handed pitching for Will Smith. Salvi Perez continues to be on another level.
Yep.
Even though Giolito's there again, the Royals offense starting to really wake up here. Let's see. Darno return. You got Pivetta there. Melendez homered today. It's kind of your top half. Anybody that I haven't mentioned that you're in on?
Yeah, I think not only did he homer, I think he had a bases clearing double as well. I think he just had a monster game. No. No, you didn't miss anyone.
Okay. Value tier, you got Moreno against lefty again at 3,300. Just kind of staple in that low 3K range.
Yep, doubled in his first at bat on Monday. I'm probably going to go back to the Grandel. Well, Jordan Lyles, dude, has been in that funk where he just gives up. His last 4 starts.
Yeah.
2 home runs, 2 home runs, 3 home runs, 2 home runs. 6 earned, 7 earned, 4 earned, 3 earned. And
are we going back to the White Sox?
We are. We're going right back to the White Sox. I'm just going right back to the White Sox.
Okay. Listen, I mean, it kind of came through for us tonight, right? Sheets homered and Grandal, and it was okay.
Robert had 9 fantasy points. Grandal scored a run, or he walked. Yeah. No zeros in our stack.
Yeah. So we'll run it. We can run it back. That's fine. We have plenty of money to do it. So.
Right. I do think we talked about it. Kansas City summers. The weather is the ball is just flying. So I like Grandal. I like Moreno. I think those are the clear-cut guys down here.
I'll just honorary mention for a Red Sox catcher here because they're both hitting the ball really well. Whether it's probably going to be Reese McGuire.
You think? They should just play Connor Wong 160.
I mean, they could, but they played Reese McGuire again the other day, and he had another hit, RBI. He's hitting 345 a year. They just play. Whoever plays is a viable punt. Wong himself is only $2,400. McGuire, what did I say, was 22? So 21. So I mean, super punt catcher for a Red Sox guy if you're looking to go there. First base. We talked about Pivetta with the power issues against lefties. Matt Olson exists. Christian Walker gets another lefty matchup here at 49. Goldschmidt against Tyon, better opportunity for him here than against Stroman today. He's $6,100, pretty expensive, but still a spot for him. Rowdy against Syndergaard, $4,600. Rizzo in Yankee Stadium gets a righty, always a favorite play of mine.
Yep.
Drury gets a lefty, though Valdez is pretty strong. I mean, you can go up and down, maybe outside of Nate Lowe here, Nathaniel Lowe. I think everybody's in play.
Dude, what is this sample I'm looking at for Drew Rucinski? How many starts has he made?
I don't even know.
2. Okay. Because if it was about to be I was going to say, I hope the Yankees just find people off the street to bat lefty for them, because holy cow.
Is it like a 600 batting average?
Dude. Yeah, it is. It is a 579 or 571 batting average with a 1,000 slug and a 679 WOBA.
How many home runs is that allowed?
He's only made it through 2 innings against lefties, but he's faced 19 batters. 8 hits in 19 at-bats for lefties. 7 runs, 5 home runs, 2 home runs, 5 walks. Just literally cannot pitch against lefties.
Yeah, so Rizzo, again, I've played a lot of Rizzo in Yankee Stadium this year against a righty. They hung up a lot of runs here today, and they're getting Judge back in that lineup, so it becomes less of a minor league lineup there. So Rizzo's good. Olsen, Walker, they're all fine.
Sure.
Let's see, mid-tier. I mean, Pasquantino's up in the 4Ks now. We've been saying forever, this dude is not a 3K hitter.
No.
Probably the lowest we'll see him. I don't think we'll ever see him below 4K again.
Yeah, righties have actually had a lot of success against Giolito this year, not lefties. So maybe something to keep in mind. Not that Pasquantino can't, because he can just hit everybody.
Sure. Ty France homer tonight. Just keep in mind that as he gives up a lot of home runs, as you mentioned. So 4K a play there. Let's see. I mean, Andrew Vaughn always in play at 31.
Two run double on Monday.
Yep. Emmanuel Rivera gets another lefty. He's 3,100. We like to play him at third, but this is a big slate, so maybe a more viable spend down at first today if you want to spend up for the big bats at third base.
Yep. Yeah, I don't hate that.
What do you make of Kirilloff here?
Oh, I'm a diehard Kirilloff guy. I just want him to stay. He just cannot stay healthy.
Right.
He's just one of those dudes. And I'm not an injury prone guy. I have grown to just get that out of my brain that I don't really believe in injury prone guys, but he might be an exception to the rule. He just it is a good spot, right?
4 home runs. You're looking at the little note here. 300 average, 1,000 OPS, 4 homers, and 50 at bats at AAA. So,
dude, he's great. He just can't stay freaking healthy. Lefties against Michael Wacha this year, so maybe we're gonna lose money on the Twins. Ready?
Give it to me.
311, 970 OPS, 410 WOBA. With Kirilloff back in the lineup, they could throw Kirilloff, Kepler, second baseman that I'm forgetting the name of, Jorge Polanco, Joey Gallo, Nick Gordon. They could throw 6 lefties at Wacha, and then we just know Byron Buxton can just hit anybody. It's just going to be a day where we, with 20 teams, we decide to use Twins, and just because we hate money.
Twins and White Sox, baby. Let's roll it out. Why not? We hate ourselves. Nick Prado, $2,600.
Yep. Matt Mervis, 23.
Yeah, if we're not playing Corbin, then Wilmer Flores is $2,600 here.
Yep, sure is. A lot of power lately, but again, there was he only actually played one. He had 1 at bat in Mexico City. 4 home runs over the last 10 games for Wilmer.
Yeah, he's always had a little pop.
I know, but 4 in 10 games. That's a lot of pop.
Sure. All right, second base. Semion's 59. You mentioned
update there. Logan Gilbert, perfect through 5 innings.
Good. How many strikeouts? 15?
8.
Good. Happy for everybody. happy for the field. Let's see.
Boy, Thyro is getting up there, huh?
Yeah.
But
You're not going to do it against lefty. I mean, Drury's. I mean, again, we like playing. I don't know if I'd play against Valdez though. It's
yeah, that's a tough.
44.
Polanco 48.
Sure. They called Morel up.
Yeah, dude, he was raking at AAA.
11 homers, 4 stolen bases.
Yeah, that's what he does. And you can play him second outfield. I kind of like that. Let's see the Flair, because Flaherty
He
gave
had
up
a
like
30% strikeout rate still at AAA though.
Yep, that doesn't surprise me. He's been that was his MO last year too. What's how many earned? Flaherty gave up what 9 earned his last start?
Yeah.
This year Jack Flaherty, all the damage coming against the left side of the plate.
Okay.
Righties are hitting just 182 with a 510 OPS.
Brendan Donovan's 3,300.
Yep, he's been pretty good.
Cronenworth against Varland, 3,700.
Varland, big time strikeout rate. She needs to stay away from that.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I don't.
Would you go to back to Emmanuel Valdez? I guess 2,700.
Yeah, guy just hits. I like Valdez 26. I actually don't hate Tony Kemp 28, just considering how bad Clark Schmidt is against left-handed bats. If Tony Kemp was in like a decent spot in the lineup, I don't hate that. Nick Gordon 2,200. Don't hate that. We saw he's been kind of good lately. So a couple okay value plays here.
Okay. Anybody else?
No.
Nick Gordon?
Yeah, Nick Gordon. Nick Gordon I mentioned.
Oh, you did. Okay, cool. Did you mention Massey too? Sorry, I was getting.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Massey's fine. He's been better of late.
Yep. You know, there are a couple RBIs tonight, I think. So.
I mean, I'd be more surprised if someone didn't have an RBI tonight.
All right, big power spot here at third base. We talk about it a lot. You get Devers, you get Riley. Is your top 2 guys here at $58 and $5,500 here. When's Moncada come back? Is he soon? Going on AAA rehab.
Why do you want to play Moncada so bad?
Because he's been good while he was good.
He was
really good.
He was surprisingly
good.
He
was really good during the World Baseball Classic too. Like I think he figured it out. So
right. Devers pretty big sample against Charlie Morton. 8 for 31, no home runs. Austin Riley 2 bombs off Pivetta.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They played in the same division.
That feels like it makes sense. Suarez, Henio against Heaney, 38. It feels like he's going to hit a home run, right?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, you're talking about like a guy that's going to probably challenge to lead the league in home runs allowed this year.
He's going to do one of 2 things. He might go 1 for 4 with a home run and 3 strikeouts. That could be Eugenio Suarez's line.
Yeah, check out the BVP. Just to see
if there's I mean, they've played in the same division before too. So, no, they didn't.
Only 1 at bat. That's so disappointing. I wanted to see like monster sample size. Tonight would have been a good night to play him. 6 for 19 with 3 homers against John Gray. Has he gotten the John Gray yet tonight?
No.
No, it's 1-0 in that game. Just an absolute pitcher's duel going out there between John Gray and Logan Gilbert, who's perfect right now. Against lefties, let's see here. Only a 794 OPS this year for Suarez. So coming down a little bit. Last year, obviously 911 OPS, 538.
It's all about the ISO with him though. Like he has so much power. Him and Teoscar Hernandez have so much power against left-handed pitching.
Yeah. Chris Taylor's starting to come on. He hits lefties pretty well.
He homered again on Monday.
Yeah. I like that. $3,200 for Chris Taylor. Third base and shortstop eligible.
I want to hear something cool.
Yeah.
Gabriel Moreno just stole a base.
Wow.
First time all year.
Yeah. Wow. Good for my fantasy team, an auction league that I have him in.
Good for my FSGA team. He's 2 for 2 with a stolen base.
I outbid you for him in our auction league.
You did. I was not happy about it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see here. Value guys. I guess we can just keep playing Garcia. I call Garcia just.
Yep. He had another. He didn't no hits tonight, but RBI.
Yep. We might talk about Wilmer. He's got the 1-3 eligibility. Anybody else? Third base?
Who did we just pass? Did you mention JD Davis when you were talking about Chris
I
Taylor?
didn't, because JD Davis this year not really hitting lefties all that well. I did mention Chris Taylor, but I didn't mention JD Davis.
I would consider JD Davis. If you're I think you and I probably can both agree San Francisco, they were popular on Monday, probably going to be that again Tuesday.
I
Just
would think so, going up
given
against
Patrick
Corbin, but
Corbin, like
it goes against all the numbers.
agreed. So, if that is the case, I would be perfectly fine just moving on to any other third baseman on the board.
Yeah, I like Taylor as the pivot off there if that ends up being
Agreed.
true.
I think that's a good pivot.
Shortstop. I'm not going to pay Estrada's price. Betts, is he hitting lefties this year? He had a stretch where he just wasn't hitting them well.
Yeah, for a couple of
Yeah.
years, like a
He
year,
left Boston
years,
and just was hitting righties. That's about it.
Lefties, Mookie Betts this year, 281, 370 WOBA, so pretty good. Nothing but again, that's just kind of speaks to what we've said about the Dodgers all along. Like they just haven't hit lefties well. Chris Taylor is hitting lefties well because he's hitting power. He has 4 home. He leads the team against lefties for the power department. 185 average. Like nobody, their best average is Mookie Betts for guys that James Outman hitting 290.
Weird lefty matchup too.
Nobody is really hitting lefties for the Dodgers.
Adames at home. We called it on the show this morning and this afternoon. We didn't really love to play it, but at home against a righty is his money spot, and he homers. So,
and now he gets a guy in Syndergaard who can't miss bats anymore. Had no strikeouts his last start.
So just certainly a spot potentially for Adames, who maybe that homer allows him to heat up. Tim Anderson, we talked about it, where we like White Sox against Lyles tonight at 51. Volpe, he's going to lead off with Judge back in the lineup. I mean, that seems like a pretty strong play.
He's just been really bad again. I wouldn't be surprised with Judge coming back. I wouldn't be surprised if he moves down in the lineup.
I mean, a lot of strikeouts lately, for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they went back to a LeMahieu leadoff. Because LeMahieu, you just get you just kind of get the depth back with Judge a little bit. So I don't know.
Orlando Arcia's back, and they option Grissom down. So
I know it's so
he's
sad.
35. Urshela versus Valdez, probably no. I'm still okay playing Ezekiel Duran until he stops hitting. So we talked about Garcia already. Anybody else?
I would have said Nato if there wasn't a left, or if the lefty wasn't.
Again, Framber hasn't been shut down, lights out, but it just feels like a bad idea to want to get exposure to that.
If Nato was leading off, right? Then
probably
you
pretty
do what you want
to play.
Yeah, he'll be extremely low, and there's not a lot.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Maybe John Birdie get some stolen base potential there.
Yep, you could play Michael Garcia here as well.
Yep. Let's see. Anybody else? Looking for matchup base. If there's anybody that's just popping off, but there really isn't. I mean, Correa's even kind of been garbage. So,
that's he's not.
Xander has been bad again lately. Yeah, so I guess we're spending up, or we're going to the couple of value plays that we peaked at here. Outfield. Where do you like? A lot of guys. There's 10 games, so ton of high price outfielders here. Acuna is up to 65, Trout 64, Alvarez 63, possibly a returning Judge at 62. Tatis double donged the other day. He's 6K.
Yeah, he's dancing, dude. The vibes are growing pretty strong, I think, in San Diego. Because Machado's hitting, Tatis is hitting. I like Judge if he's back. they still suggest, as of a couple of days ago, the reports are that he's going to be back. I would get there. I'm perfectly fine getting to Tatis or Acuna as well. I mean, I mentioned the Otani thing. Like, you can play any of these guys. I would say Acuna, Tatis, Judge would be the 3 of the 6K that I would actually play.
I'm again, excuse me, difficult to argue. Really, it's just you're talking about a lot of top end talent here, so they're all pretty productive plays. You have Buxton against Waka. You mentioned Carroll's actually hitting lefties pretty well, but I don't think I want to spend $50 and $100 on him here.
No, not against a lefty, but I'm happy to see his price here because the upside of, 5 home runs, 15 extra base hits, and 10 stolen bases, like, he deserves this price tag instead of the 3,100 that he was for the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah, he didn't crack 4K until April 19th. So,
like, that's just, so I'm happy to see him here. Not gonna.
Yoshida continues the hit streak the other day. 2 more hits. He's $5,300. I think that's fine if you're going to stack Red Sox. We talked. This game is going to have one of the highest game totals on the board. So, one way or the other, those runs probably come, and he's been pretty strong there. Soto at 51. I mean, he's starting to come around. Not.
Yeah, he's been
911 OPS for him here. I mean, the power has been still not there, but a guy that
the doubles are coming. The 4 doubles in his last 6 games. So the home runs, I agree. You don't want to pay this price for just doubles. So you're not wrong.
Lewis Robert, $4,600.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
You mentioned all the Lyles numbers. You had another decent night for Lewis Robert tonight. You said 9 fantasy points.
Yeah. 9 fantasy points. Yeah. Let's see the Lyles split here. Oh, would you look at that? Right-handers, 304 average, 950 OPS, 399 WOBA. Not that lefties are doing much worse, but really good numbers for right-handed hitters here.
Yep, I agree with you there as well. Let's see.
I mean, Lourdes got to be back in the lineup, right? Now, I don't know if we want to go against Luzardo, but
he should be. Otherwise, I don't really understand why he's not. Bellinger against Flaherty, 43. I mean, the price on Bellinger feels like it keeps fluctuating around. But 4,300 is a pretty good number given the way he's been playing right now.
Dude, Cody Bellinger might mess around and go 30-30. Legit. Might
he's
just
at 9. He's at 7 homers and 9 stolen bases. So
I think Cody Bellinger, the Cody Bellinger revenge arc is going to be is insane right now.
Let's see here. Power for Soler. Rooker. I mean, hard not to play Rooker at this point, right? $4,100.
And what do we've said this all along about Clark Schmidt. The power has been, he's been obviously worse against lefties. And we're going to get to, I think, an Oakland lefty in the outfield that at least I want to talk about. I played him the other day, hit a home run. Looking at Clark Schmidt's 2.15 home runs per 9 innings this far. Looking at the exact split. Yeah, lefties have a 738 slug, 505.
Yeah, no, he's been bad. He's been pretty bad there for sure.
Logan Gilbert, perfect game has come to an end on a Marcus Semien single to start the 7th.
Max Kepler is 3 for 10 with 2 doubles and a homer off Michael Wacha.
I think the lefties for Minnesota are very interesting.
You mentioned lefties this year, 311 average, 600 slug, 967 OPS. So I do like that. Harris, as you mentioned, back $3,800 works for me. Story Ruiz had another big night tonight.
Dude, he
gets on base. If he gets on base, you're not throwing him out. So 17 stolen bases, not counting what he's done tonight already. So, or count. Maybe it is counting. Maybe it is. It's that game's over. Yeah. So
that's
counting tonight. 17 stolen bases, 7 of those the last 10 games. Like the guy gets on
Dude,
and runs. So
and he's been getting on.
yeah,
Like 348 OBP,
one
340
of their
on the
better
year.
prospects. Obviously, the organization hit a ton last year, stole a billion bases, and now he's up from the minor leagues and doing damage. Duran's $3,700. We'll just keep hitting him until he proves that he can't hit anymore.
Yep.
Excuse me. You got Haniger against Corbin at 37. You know, maybe that starts playing through. You've talked up Bader a lot. 3,600 for him.
Another
Another
good
good
game,
game.
dude.
Yep, for sure.
Dude, you know what? Maybe he leads off. Maybe he's the leadoff hitter
They
going
move
into.
Bader in.
Yeah, I mean, Volpe is awful right now. Not saying he's going to be awful, but like the speed on full display for Bader, back-to-back games with triples. Like
I didn't. Did you see that play or
triples.
not? I didn't see how he hit that triple. It was like a line. It said line drive to a Story Ruiz triple. I was like, did Ruiz make a diving play at it, or was it just because like how else is he tripling on a ball to center field if it's not like a diving attempt? I guess.
It was just in the gap, and he just ran really fast.
Because Ruiz is really fast. So like,
yeah, so what Bader's done on 2 straight games is he's legged out triples that other people will just stop at second. He's just one of those dudes. He's just a hustle guy. Just went right to the wall, but it played the big left center in Yankee Stadium, right? Like the big, dude.
Yeah, I just watched it. He literally just put head down, ran.
Head down, just ran, yeah. Dude. Just ran. Yep.
Okay.
That's what he does. But he did that, and he did that 2 games ago in Tampa, and did one of these like
Ruiz also kind of coached it there too. If he actually Ruiz was settling for the double, like all right, this is gonna be a double in the gap. If he actually ran his speed, he probably keeps it to a double. But Bader,
probably correct. I also think it's worth. Like I do think most players there just coast in the
that's what I'm
right?
saying.
Like,
I think they kind of all just like, I'll just get a double.
Well, either Bader's going to be hitting, I think, in just a good lineup spot anyway. No Stanton still, Volpe struggling. You could see LeMahieu move up. Judge. The lineup likely is LeMahieu, Judge, Rizzo, Glaber, and then maybe Bader hitting 5th. And at 3,600, give me all of that because Rachinski's not good.
All right. Other guys down here at the outfield spot? Anybody popping off for you?
Not really. I mean, Kirilloff 28. Oh yeah, here we are. JJ Bleday.
Okay, that was your lefty you were talking about, right?
Yeah, that was my Oakland lefty, 2,700. Since getting called up, he's been pretty dynamite. Other than his first game, 2 home runs, has a double, 3 multi-hit games, and lefties are just killing Clark Schmidt. I mean, 730 slug, 505 WOBA.
He did pinch hit, or he pinch hit 1 for 4.
No, he
started.
No. Oh no, you're right. Laureano left the game.
Yeah, so 1 for 4 tonight for him. But again, not a guy that you generally face against lefties. So
yeah, so I think Bleday is a great value. Yankee Stadium home run incoming. Jesus Sanchez, a guy I mentioned to you earlier in this program. He has a double RBI off of Zach Gallen on Monday. He's been pretty good. And then we mentioned Prado 2,600. So and we skip over where's all this Braves there? Eddie Rosario,
Rosario there. Hilliard is 27.
Yep, those 2 Braves have some pretty good value, which we haven't seen in some time.
Cabrera.
I told you, yeah. He hits better from the right side. That's the only problem. He was a very sneaky play, I think, on Monday and did homer.
I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else that'd be down here. I don't think so. I mean, like, if they hit Tappy a third again, I guess like $2,200, you kind of have to play that, right?
Probably. I just don't know why they would do that again.
I don't know why they did it in the first place, but they
Right.
DH'd Yoshida in
he-
that game.
It was funny. Like, it did feel like one of those things where they were just like, let's see what we can get
Yeah.
from this. As Christian Walker deposits a home
Hey,
run.
Christian Walker deposits a home run,
Like we
and the Rangers have bases loaded against Logan Gilbert. Took 7 innings, but you know what?
John
We're
finally got
finally
some fantasy
here.
points on the board. Like, I think I don't know if I'd even play Tappy if he's hitting third. Like, I might, but I just don't know why he would hit
No,
third. Boston's
I
been
know.
so good. Why do
I
they
don't know.
need to
Why do
hit?
they have
Why
Rob
do they need to
Refsnyder
hit
hit
this
third
guy
sometimes?
third? This
Never
is
makes
this
sense.
is
All right, we got a
this
couple
is
minutes left. I already put Ohtani and Fott in the lineup here. So we got 42 to play. What was the?
I mean,
what are we going here? We're going White Sox against Lyles probably again. Robert, that group.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking Moreno or Grandal at catcher, or punt a Red
And
Sox
Grandal's
catcher.
34. I think that plays shortstop. Did we want Anderson here? We just going straight up against Lyles.
I don't know, because the power hasn't really been there. Is that like? Let's come back to shortstop.
Okay.
Let's work
All
on
right,
other
4,300. I got Grandal and Robert in. We didn't even mention Sheets. What is he at? He's at 2,500 again.
2,500.
So
Yeah,
pretty easy plug there.
he's crushed righties. Like, if we wanted to go back to the well,
2,500. I don't hate it.
Okay,
So
he's crushed.
that's 47 to play basically for the rest of our lineup. So what was our number 2 stack?
We had White Sox and
We talked about twins. We talked to the Twins.
Twins.
Kepler,
So are we spinning up at third? Devers, Riley.
I mean, if we go Riley, I don't mind going Olsen here.
Olsen, Riley, double stack.
Second base. Did we have a favorite second baseman, or do we? And I mean, Emmanuel Valdez is $2,700.
Yeah, we like the value. Did we like anyone else? Albies, no. Polanco, I liked at 48. Yeah, I think it was like Valdez. Yeah, I'm okay playing Valdez. Yeah. $2,700. Still, every slate.
Shortstop and outfield for $4,750.
Shortstop and outfield for $4,750. I mean,
I thought we had a multi-eligible guy.
Garcia.
Taylor.
I guess it's like Acuna. Play Chris Taylor homered again on Monday.
So a one-off Taylor. That's a $6,300 outfielder.
And almost get Acuna. Tatis is a one-off.
See if we can get there. Let's do this. Hold on.
Try to get to Acuna.
3K. I will do Michael Garcia. That works, right? Yep. All right, that's where we're at then. We got Fott. We got Fott, Ohtani, Grandal, Olsen, Valdez, Riley, Garcia, Roberts, Sheets, and Acuna. So we gave ourselves 3 Braves. We got a little White Sox 3 stack as well. We get all the way down and all the way up when it comes to pitching for this slate here. Remember, if you're not yet a member of Fantasy Time, go to fantasytime.com/all-pro. Promo code MLB50 saves you 50% off the first 6 months. Plus, we have a 7-day free trial now for everybody to go ahead and try out. $19.98 a month for the first 6 months. After that, if you want to hang on, that goes right through the football season. You get access to everything we got going on at Fantasy Alarm. Not just the MLB, but the NHL, NBA, PGA, MMA, NFL, NASCAR. We got everything we covered here. And we got our brand new Discord. We've had a Discord. It's been revamped. We're getting you in there. It's best ball fantasy football season as well. We're running a whole bunch of subscriber best ball drafts over at Underdog Fantasy. Go to fantasyalarm.com/underdog. Promo code Fantasy Alarm will give you the deposit match up to $100. So all that great stuff happening here at Fantasy Alarm and on the Better Sports Network. Download the free Better Sports Network app in your iTunes and Google Play Store. James and I will be back 5 o'clock Eastern Time PM tonight